So, dark masculine energy. What is it and how can we use it? Now, I'm going to dive into that in a minute. I've popped back to England for a few weeks because I had to pick some stuff up. I had my mum's birthday, so I'm here for a little while. And I always say it's very hard to beat England in the summertime. The gorgeous colours, the countryside, the birds chirping, it's fantastic. The Mediterranean in general is very hard to beat in the summer as well. And it's making me want to stay here because I really love it and it's what's comfortable. But for me right now, my journey, being comfortable is not what's needed. I'll probably be here for a few weeks, but then I'll be back on my journeys, on my adventures, because right now what is needed is more isolation, going inward, and more discovery. And one of the things I've been diving into a lot, and these are all things I'm going to be putting into my courses, and especially when I'm dealing with men. We're going to dark feminine another time, but dealing with entrepreneurs, especially business owners and athletes and high performers and leaders that are men, the dark masculine energy is something that a lot of people don't know about, and it's often misrepresented, and it's seen as something that's negative because it's dark masculine energy. But dark masculine energy, in layman's terms, I've got it written down here, is your raw primal masculine power. It's the part of us as men that penetrates, has extreme focus, unapologetic truth. It sets boundaries without flinching. It owns your desires without shame. It protects and provides fiercely, and it faces fear, death, and chaos without backing down. So it's just that primal power. And it's called dark, not because it's bad, but it deals with the parts of life that are intense, are uncomfortable, and powerful. Things like anger, dominance, frustration, lust, fear, death, ambition, and raw willpower. And this is something I've been diving into because I know how powerful this energy is when channeled in the right way. And most men, unfortunately, they leak a lot of energy. And I've been guilty of this myself, especially when it's come to things like anger, frustration, lust, very, very high sex drive, high sexual energy, and it can be pulled in different directions. And I've had to really channel that. And a lot of this as well, especially for men when it comes to things like anger, that's unmet needs when you're younger, and frustration, being bulldozed, being bullied, etc. Not feeling like you're heard. Frustration comes from that as well. It can not feeling seen or wanted. And then the lust can come from mother wounds, or just a wound with the feminine, but also with not enoughness and trying to feel that connection, trying to feel valued, especially with men who have, at one point in time, with my illness and what I went through, didn't date for a long time, and it meant that I just didn't feel attracted to the opposite sex. And so when I finally got past that, I started to get female attention. It was like, okay, this is something that I want to experience more and more of, and it's easy to lose yourself in that. And so when dark and masculine energy is used properly, then it is powerful. You can become the warrior, the king, and the wild man, the protector. The confusion or the issues comes when it's unbalanced. So dark masculine energy can become destructive, it can become abusive, it can become abusive power, violence, narcissism, domination for ego. But when it's healthy, dark masculine energy is what builds empires, it's what protects families, it's what leads communities and creates breakthroughs. And so this is some of the things I'm going to be touching on. I've been looking into many, many things. Magnetism is another one. How can I be the most magnetic version of myself? How does that look? How does that person walk, talk, dress? How do they interact with people? And this is just going from the most authentic self, showing up as authentically you, and coming from a place not of fear, holding your boundaries, speaking your truth, looking people in the eye. This is powerful, extremely, extremely powerful. So there's lots that I've been diving into. You can see, like, as I've moved through this, my skin has improved, and that's moving into that new identity. And sometimes it's easy to get pulled back into things, especially when you feel like unmet needs, or you've got feelings come up that are hard for you to sit with. It's easy to get pulled back into comfort, and this is where we really have to sit. And if you want to move into the next version of ourselves, then we have to really understand these things. And dark masculine energy, one of the things that a lot of men don't go through right now is rites of passage. And I want to talk about that. I'm going to be going through my own rites of passage. I've done things where I've moved away from home and I've lived my own life, and I've done things in both business and in sport, which have been, you know, almost rites of passage, but not a true rite of passage from boyhood to manhood. Because if you look in traditional rites of passages from tribes or communities, there's very different things that go into that and how we go about that. So I'm going to do some posts specifically on magnetism, on the dark masculine, and on rites of passage, and I'll be going deep into these into my course, and into my teaching, especially when we have retreats. I'm actually going to bring out a new course which is streamlined. It's the Total Revival course. It goes deep into everything. I'm going to bring out another one that's streamlined into cleansing the body, first 30 days. Next 30 days is all about rewiring the body and the regulating the nervous system. And then the final 30 days is going to be all about optimizing hormones and getting you to exactly where you need to be. And within that, I'm going to be putting in shadow work. I'm going to be putting in things with dark masculine, dark feminine. I'm going to be going into the mental, the emotional. Going to be really targeting areas we can move into that next version of ourselves, because it's all the work that I'm doing. And so I want to just share what I've been going through, because and to teach it to people. It's the only way to really embody it. And you don't prove you embody. And so there's so much of this that I want to share with you. It's very, very powerful. I'm going to actually go deep into these areas. And I think one, especially for men, it would be anger, frustration, lust particularly. And I think I might do a post on that. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, let me know below. And especially the dark masculine, in a way, because once you can understand how to channel this, once you understand what it is and how you can use it, it really will change the game. All that wasted energy, that leaking, that like acting like a boy, not stepping into the king. When we look at this, the shadow side of the king, the tyrant or the weakling, and then you've got a lot of, most men are just boys in adult bodies. Their consciousness is not above a 12-year-old. This is why we have all the things we have, in terms of bullying, cheating, not owning their shortcomings, etc. A lot of posturing, a lot of defensiveness. And so this is huge when it comes to becoming our highest version of ourselves. This is why we're moving into elevate rather than revive, elevate. Because I want you to get you to the highest version of yourself and unlock your full potential. And to do that, we have to look at all the shadow sides, and we have to look at this, because there's a lot of power in there, a lot of things that don't get talked about. Dark feminine for women as well is very, very powerful once that's unlocked. And so, yeah, just want to have a little update around what I've been looking into. And there's so much, actually. And really looking forward to bringing it out to you. So just a little update to let you know what's been going on behind the scenes and what I'll be bringing out, and to let you know more about what I'll be talking on. Because without going into these areas, we can't elevate to a higher self. If we just pretend they don't exist, then they get suppressed and repressed, and that causes issues. So we need to talk about this stuff. So yeah, stick around, because I'll be diving into this over the next few days and weeks, and also I'll be putting out more and more content, talking to people like myself, those leaders, those busy entrepreneurs, those people that are really looking to take life by the horns, but are on the verge of burnout, or they're about to hit a wall, they don't even know it. And a lot of it comes, that pushing, that continual pushing comes from not feeling enough. So you had to keep on achieving, had to keep on hitting the next goal. but I want them to understand they are enough. I want you to understand if you're listening, you are enough. And there's a different way to go about things. And when you're aligning your energy, rather than pushing or forcing, when you align your energy, everything moves in a much easier way. And we'll be diving into that as well. Okay. Hope this has been insightful, and I look forward to speaking more about this soon. Lots of love.